After valiantly obtaining a closed beta key via Twitch drops, I could finally try out the latest closed, multiplayer-only beta for Amplitude Studios' Endless Dungeon. Yet another entry in the overarching Endless Universe. It's a roguelike tactical action game in a similar vein to Dungeon of the Endless. Since I have the latter, there wasn't any question about being interested in Endless Dungeon. As it's a closed beta, there's still time for things to change ahead of its release on 19 October 2023, provided it's not further delayed. The options menu doesn't have all that much to play around, with some settings appearing to be unavailable for tweaking. The beta has the option to toggle an easy mode, which simply states to offer several bonuses when you explore, but I didn't try it out. Besides, I don't know if turning it on my end will apply when I join someone else's session. Languages offered are German, English, Spanish, French, Japanese, Korean, Polish, Brazilian Portuguese, simplified or traditional Chinese. You can change subtitle size, which is neat. There's an interaction prompt background opacity slider, presumably not applicable to subtitles or other text boxes. There's mouse aim assist alongside the laser sight, so that's always nice. Moving from the pixel top-down style of Dungeon of the Endless Dungeon uses 3D models in an isometric view. It does look quite nice, though I found it really hard to see certain area of effects. There are player turrets with red AoEs, obviously friendly, but then you have damaging effects from enemies which are also red. When things get hectic, I have missed seeing a warning triangle, or simply ran into terrain and wondered why I wasn't going anywhere. I guess I might need to turn up brightness up on my end as well. Regardless, I hope there'll be improvements to visual clarity. The markers on the map are at least color-coded for your convenience with a really long legend you can refer to. Now, this kind of begs the question, where's the colorblind friendly options? The monster spawners don't have unique symbols on the map, and the colors are to indicate what they're weak to. I hope this will be added for accessibility and all. One thing's for sure, it's more action-packed than Dungeon of the Endless. Before I get into the meat of the gameplay, there's a little big problem with the multiplayer only closed beta. Not everyone has it for one, so games are a touch hard to find. At least, games in my region where I could hope for less than 50 ping. I connected to Europe or either United States servers during my playtime, where I pretty much had an even harder time knowing when to dodge or even what was attacking me. I bring this up early because unlike Dungeon of the Endless Dungeon feels like a much better time with friends, as horrendously laggy as it were for me during this beta. I'm more of a turn-based low speed kind of guy, and without being able to try the single player during this period, I wonder how the scaling is going to be like. Anyway, up to 3 players can be in a game session at a time to descend into the core of the space station they find themselves getting repeatedly resurrected in. With the power of friendship, guns, and turrets, you and your buddies need to escort a fragile crystal ball through the zones while besieged by any assortment of creatures wanting pieces out of all of you. If you go down, your friend can help you back up. If the crystal ball goes down, all of you die. As you might expect, the playable characters all have their own roles. I played Shroom, the medic, just so that I wouldn't embarrass myself dying rushing in to kill enemies. Ha ha. Her active skill has no cooldown, but requires soul stacks to heal. Ultimates require energy to cast, gained by dealing damage to enemies. I will pretty much just hang on to my soul stacks and spray and pray to get my ult up for the heals. As alluded to earlier, there's a rock paper scissors thing going on, where certain elements are more effective against certain enemies. From the beta, it seemed to be more likely to get collectibles than anything usable, much less worthwhile, and in one session, 98% of the weapons from either chests or merchants were only for the Z player wielding a heavy gun, which neither the bunker player nor me could use. At least if there's any collectible drops, the loot is locked to you when it appears, so it won't get nicked from you if it's that crucial. There are fixed monster spawners instead of randomly just appearing from any old dark room with waves coming in as the danger level peaks, or from certain actions, like from researching new tech or moving the crystal ball. At least the crystal ball can be upgraded this time using shards you find lying around. That does also call the horde, so best be ready. Action does feel more emphasized here as turrets have relatively limited range, compared to effectively covering an entire room in dungeon, so the limited nodes have a greater impact. Likewise, the slots to build resource generators also don't feel as plentiful, and monsters will go after these constructs that you can't rebuild. Once the industry tanks, tough luck trying to make anything. This game does let anyone be a fixer-upper to restore turret health at least, and they can get upgraded once they see enough action. Should a blackout happen though, you're going to have to replace all of them as they can no longer be restored. At least enemies don't open doors you haven't, so there's a bit less crying about them trying to reroute your meticulous funnel. Unless... At certain points of exploration, you will be moved to a separate slice of zone, cutting you off from the previous segment. If you forgot anything there, then too bad, they're gone. You do also leave the baddies behind, so you don't have to worry about getting ambushed. Instead, you have to be concerned over bosses. These can have their own mechanics and phases, like how the bug mama will become invulnerable until you find the nest to enrage her to expose her fleshy underbelly. These so-called arenas can be quite small to maneuver in, so hope you can be quick on your feet. It's kind of funny that way because there are some rooms that are just so huge, there's barely anything in them. On clearing a zone, you get scored and scrap that can be later used at the saloon. This scrap and most progression is only applicable to the host as far as I've experienced, which is a little of a bummer really. I wanted to go check them out in my own time, in my own instance, but since I've only joined games and not hosted any of mine, I've got nothing. Whenever you return to the saloon, the hub area will gradually open up with a variety of things to check out and manage, or just chat out the people there. There's the booster chest at the kiosk where you can buy a chest for some loot for your next run. Only the host can manage this, so people don't get funny ideas to throw a bunch of materials for junk. The library will have all the lore you've encountered as well as quests for the respective heroes to check. This is similar to Dungeon, where the characters in between zones in the elevators can have conversations and unlock unique dialogue and or buffs or demerits depending on their relationship with each other. From the workshop, you can find a list of equipable chips for a hero, but only after clearing the first step of their associated quests. The beta shows there's at least 3 slots per hero, as well as a crystal bot. This too is currently only for the host to change. The hacking post opens up different zones you can start in, so there's a certain level of control for at least which bunch of monsters you prefer to fight first. The cafe is home to my current favorite, Patty. You can find drink recipes as you explore and have him mix them for you. The ones I've gotten access to so far pretty much open up several flavors, pun not intended, of risk-reward play, so pick your poison. Normally I have a little section about the story of a game I play, but haven't been able to unlock all that much, so I won't comment on what piecemeal they have right now. Even as I got slingshotted across the map from lag after some roly boys ran over me. Whoa! I enjoyed the multiplayer endless dungeon close beta. That said, the issues with visual clarity I had are far more easily fixed than connected to multiplayer lobbies, so if I do get the game eventually, here's hoping single player doesn't feel so bad. I fully acknowledge there's likely to be a degree of skill issue, but until I can give it my best shot, we'll leave it there for now. Good luck on your adventures to the core.